Okay, so we're just going to get Pac Man to move across the screen and eat all of these white dots. Now you'll see that I've moved, when you download yours, your little speaker sounds will be here. Just move those down here and you'll notice one's got the number 1 beside it. Now if it's got a number beside it, it means it's got an animation. Now that can mean it's going to play, it's going to do something. We're just going to move those down there out of the way. Now you'll see up here in the animation pane that number 1 there reflects to that sound wave, and it says that it's going to start on click, and if you just click on that you can see the timings, and on click it's going to play, okay, from the beginning, etc, etc. Now for whatever reason, if you download it and you haven't got this page set up and it looks more like this, the way we get there, we simply go to animations at the top here in the ribbon, and then we click on this one here, animation pane, and there we are, we're away. Now the way I've made Pac Man today is I've made him in 2 halves, 2 semicircles, you'll see like that. So we've got to remember that everything we do, we've got to do it twice. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just grab hold of that top half of the semicircle, and we're going to add an animation. And all we're going to do is tell it to spin. And you'll see that it's spinning. It's not quite what we want to do, but with a bit of clever pokery here, we can sort this out. Click on the drop down, click timing. Now we need it to start after the previous, which is after this sound finishes. The duration is we're going to do it fast, and the effect is really important. We're going to go down to here, click tapping 45, and you must click enter. Click enter, otherwise this doesn't change. Right, we also want it to auto reverse, that means it'll open and close. And because it's the top bit, we want it to go counterclockwise. We want it to go backwards. And click OK. There we go. You can see his mouth opening. Now, wasn't quite fast enough, so I'm just going to put in there perhaps 0.05, and that should speed it up. In fact, that went really fast. Now we've got to do the same with the bottom half. So just check I've grabbed the bottom half, add animation, spin again, drop that down. We want it to go with the previous, start with the previous, and I'll explain that a little bit more in a minute. Timings, again, we want it to be fast. We've got to get it the same pace as the other one. The effect this time is 45 degrees clockwise, that's correct. Press enter, and we want it auto reverse because we want it to open and close. Now this is a storyboard here. What we're saying is we want the sound to start on the click, then after the previous, so after the sound's finished, we want it to spin and set it up as we've done it, and obviously this one's going to go the same. So if I just play that, I'll hear the music play, and then as soon as that's finished, you'll see Pac Man opens his mouth really quickly and closes it. I don't know if you saw that. Now I want him to move across the screen, so I'm going to grab the top half, add animation, we're going to go from motion path down here, we're going to go right, and you can see that top half moved. Now I'm just going to extend it to right the way across the screen, so we want him to go across the screen. And now I've got to grab the bottom half. The way I'm doing is, by the way, I'm grabbing it, and it's just to make sure that I've done it, and then I press Control and Z to put it back, so I know that I've got it right. Add animation, motion path, right. There we see the bottom half's gone this time. Okay, and again I do the same to that one. I grab it and I move it to the same point. Now remember, this is a storyboard, so I want that to happen with the previous, and I want this to happen with the previous effect. So play that. Okay, now you saw that he opened his mouth, but it didn't repeat. So up here, I now got to go to timings, and I'm going to repeat that, and I'm going to repeat that in there just to say 36. And remember, whatever I do, I have to do down here. Timings, sorry. Repeat 36. Now sometimes with these we have to just jiggery pokery. Start with previous, start of the previous, that's correct. So now, There we go. He's continued to go across the screen. But you notice he didn't eat anything. So now we're building our storyboard up. So we grab each dot in turn. Oh, if I can. I just need to move those out of the way just a second. Grab the dot. I'll put those back in a second. Now what I have to do is add an animation, and I'm simply going to make it disappear. But I don't want it to disappear straight away. I want it to happen after the previous, but now I've got to, after previous, but now I might have to work this out. And I might have a delay of half a second. It might be a little bit longer of 0.8 by the time it gets there. So let's just put those motion paths back and play, and we'll see if this first dot disappears. It's finally disappeared. So we need to jiggery pokery. So timing is, sorry, with previous, and let's go 0.5 seconds. See what happens now. There we go. It disappeared just at the right time. Now to make the next dot disappear, we do exactly the same. We simply say that we want it to disappear, add animation, disappear, start with previous, timing. Now the other one was 0.5, so we might have to go 0.8. Again, put your motion paths back to the center, press play. Oh, not quite. Play with it. And we repeat for each one of those in turn. Okay, have fun.